when you realized there were going to be two black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl, what was your first reaction?
First of all, let me say this. Thanks for having me. And the other thing I like to say, I'm glad you didn't call me when it first happened, because I think my emotion had got the best of me just sitting there. I was down in the basement watching it by myself. And just to realize that, where we've come from and the fact that today we got two black quarterbacks playing in the Super Bowl, it's something that, you just can't, you don't wake up and dream about, because the guys that before us, before me, especially before the two guys that's going to be playing in it, they didn't get a chance to play in the National Football League because of whatever reason. But to sit here, you're talking about 35 years later, 35 years ago, I played, tomorrow to be the anniversary of 35 years, the first black quarterback to play in there. And then 25 years later, you get Russell Wilson. And then 10 years more, you got two black quarterbacks playing in the Super Bowl. To me, I thought we had made some progress. We made a lot more progress last night. And it's progress that shouldn't have to be made. It's a progress that it should be opportunity for guys to do what they did last night.
Why do you think it took so long?
Well, I think we all know the reason why. It's the mentality of either the ownership or whatever, or having a black quarterback to lead your team. At the end of the day, that's basically what it is. I think the scope of the league has changed tremendously from yesteryears to now. The coaches and the general managers, they don't look at it like they did before me. Let me say before me, they don't look at it from that standpoint. The Marlon Briscoe, the James Harris, and Joe Gilliam, John Walton, and David Mays didn't have the opportunity that I had, and especially the opportunity that these young guys have. I just think it's the landscape or the mindset of the guys that are picking the players and the guys that are coaching them.
Give me your thoughts on Jalen Hurts.
Man, Jalen, man, I'm thinking about when I used to watch him down in Alabama, and from Alabama to Oklahoma. And, his whole game changed from his first couple of years in Alabama to where he is today. He transformed from a running quarterback to a quarterback who can run. And that's what I like about him, because he can stand in the pocket. He knows what the defense is giving him. He can throw the football from the pocket. But what makes him more dangerous is the fact that he can run the football and he can get out of the pocket and throw the football. So you're talking about a guy now, you can't just sit back there and say that Jalen is a athletic quarterback. That's the code word per se, a guy who can't think from the pocket. But you can't say that now. This young man has transformed himself to be a quarterback who can stand in the pocket and pick you apart. And if you got to get out of the pocket, he can run you down. I think he proved that last night. So, Jalen Hurts is a complete NFL quarterback. And I like for everybody to look at it from that standpoint, not from an athlete. He is athletic. Patrick Mahomes is athletic. Joe Burrow is athletic. All the boys can move. But Jalen got some special because, Jalen got that lower bottom he can help him, run over people, run by people, and run away from people. So, yeah, he's exactly what any team would need or would want at this particular time.
I'll say the same thing with Patrick Mahomes. What are your thoughts on this guy?
Man, Patrick Mahomes don't seem to amaze me. One thing we do know, both of the guys are tough, Jalen and Patrick. But I think last night, Patrick was probably one of the most courageous guys last night. You knew he was hurt. I mean, he got a high ankle sprain, and he showed it. And he couldn't do half the things that he's capable of doing. But one thing he did do on that last drive, I think he forgot about the fact that his ankle was hurting, and he made sure that he put Kansas City, not Patrick. He was playing for Kansas City last night, and he put Kansas City on his legs and ran that ball in a position. And unfortunately for the young guy who pushed him at the end of the run, that gave him opportunity to win that game.
Getting back to these two young black quarterbacks. What is the message now? Where is the NFL now when it comes to equality?
We're still a long ways away because of one reason. Because there's an awful lot of black coaches out there who are not getting the opportunity. So we still a long ways away. You know, I mean, we respect the fact that the black quarterbacks are getting that opportunity. But at the same time, when you look at it from a realistic standpoint, we still a long ways away from the guys who's over the team, who runs the team, who command the team. It's too many good coaches out there that are not getting that chance. So as we sit here and see what we've done from a quarterback standpoint, and you applaud that, and you say hooray, but you just can't be happy for that. You got to look at it from the whole shebang of organization. Where are the black coaches? I think that's the bottom line. Would
you say the same with ownership?
Well, you know, let's be frank. You know, when you talk about ownership, the chances of you know, 3 or 4 black guys on the football team it's like far and near. You and I both know there's always meetings before the meeting and the meeting after the meeting to make sure that the game teams and stuff like that go in other people's hands. You know, I'm not fooling myself. I know how it works. And it's the same thing with these coaches. You know, you bring in all these coaches to interview for a sham. At the end of the day, you already know who you're going to hire. And I think that's the tragedy of what is going on in the NFL is the fact that the black coach is not getting a
chance. My final question for you, Doug. Which quarterback you think's going to win the Super Bowl this year?
Well, let me say this. I can't lose.
You're rooting for both.
I can't lose. I can't lose because we got exactly what we would like to have. And I think it'd be a shame to pull against either one of them. You know, this is one game I wish it end in a tie.
Doug, thank you so much.